What's next for corn and soybeans after new developments on the trade war and changing weather in both US and South America? Jerry Gidel is ready to assess all of that and more right here on Connected Farmer, your channel, to keep you up to date with the latest trends in agriculture and livestock. So, Jerry, this week we had some new changes, some new developments on the trade war. We had a court that has halted all the tariffs, but then really quickly they came back with an appeals court that validated for now what were these decisions. And also, President Trump has announced that China has breached the initial agreement. So that has impacted all the commodity market.
Yes, it's been really kind of a sluggish, declining market here after the long U.S. Memorial Day holiday. There was some rains around. I don't know that they were that fantastic. Relatively speaking, there in Illinois, we're still 3 inches behind for the month of May, and that. But and to some extent, we didn't have a lot of moisture this week. We did have kind of a slow moving system that maybe gave us a quarter to a half an inch here in the Eastern Corn Belt, but that's not going to make the difference long term. But in general, you're exactly right. We've had uh, middle of the week, we had one trade court saying that his declared tariffs, declared tariff hikes were illegal. Then the appeals court went ahead and reinstated them uh, the next day as we go along in here. And then after celebrating the fact that Nippon Steel had made quite an impressive type of offer here on buying U.S. steel, which is, the name says it all. The U.S. steel industry is what's left of it's under U.S. Steel, and that he went ahead after the celebration that they paid good money and was going to keep everything the same in the U.S. He decided that the other people in the world, the Japanese, the Chinese, things like that, even maybe some European steel manufacturers should see their tariff go up 25% to 50. So there's always something new going on in the world of tariffs in the U.S. and it's
Well, but I
aluminum.
think the announcement that China, or his opinion that China has breached the initial agreement is significant news for the agricultural sector, since that might mean that the tariffs for agricultural products coming into China might change.
Oh, no doubt. The interesting thing, he made that comment, yet I didn't specifically hear that he changed the reduction that we had of the very high tariffs down to
No, not
10.
yet. He might speak. He announced he would speak with Xi Jinping.
Right. Well, that's the whole key. He wanted to get a conversation because he felt like that after the arrangement they had 10 days, 2 weeks ago, he hadn't heard anything. So he's one of these impatient people. He's got to hear something happen right away after he makes a decision. So right now, at least, definitely it's at the tender situation for the U.S. and we definitely things need to kind of move along because the other situation in here, a lot of these original and delayed and things like that. Now on this whole steel thing, it's next week, but in general, it's really the end of July and the first 10 days or so of July, we have a lot of these things expiring. We've got a lot of things to take care of. We've only got a partial one on Britain at this point, and we don't have any particular things officially started. Well, we've had conversations strong ones with both India and Japan and some other places, but we haven't had any more announcements. And I think we've got to get started on that to be able to things get along. Now, I'd have to say, uh, if for some reason or other the court systems continue to have differences between how they interpret these tariffs, and that definitely it doesn't prompt overseas countries to step up if things get declared illegal on tariffs. So hopefully they continue on and we get some positive things on that. I think that's the key feature here as we go into the this summer, along with whatever weather we have or don't have here in the U.S.
Yeah, so yeah, in the US, you have some additional planting. Most of the crops are well ahead of previous years. But in Brazil, we had some big news that we had frost in the state of Paraná affecting safrinha crops, and also in Mato Grosso do Sul. We even had snow in some of the highest areas of southern Brazil, so that might affect the safrinha.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we had some promotions there midweek that there was an opportunity for some rain event to really provide a huge opportunity for that second crop corn. And really, Paranon's one of them. Of course, excuse me, Mato Grosso del Sol. I don't think it got much rain in Mato Grosso or Goiás, which are to some extent, maybe they're even past a little bit of what it might happen on that. But in general, here, uh, the corn crop in the second corn crop in Brazil is going to be highly important here. Last year, it kind of fizzled out. This year, they keep promoting it as an opportunity to maybe see their number down there from 128 up to maybe as high as 138 is one private outfit put out this week. So that's quite a contrast. At this point, that would definitely dampen our new crop corn demand. We've had a tremendous year this year. We've keep exporting, getting things on the books. We're less than a little over 100 million yet to go. We got six, basically 3 full months to get this done. So in general, we've got a great crop corn outlook going here. We got to ship it yet, but in general, we've got positive. But if things improve in Brazil, it could take away some of our new crop export demand going longer term. So, got to keep watching that South American weather down there. All right.
Yes, and next week we are going to have a full week after a 4-day market week in the United States. We are going to have the crushing numbers, and you think there will be a recovery for both corn and soybean prices?
Well, we really do need it. We're down here on the low side of the recent ranges here on corn, soybeans, and that you definitely pointed out the we're going to have an update here on Monday on the overall world or overall U.S. soybean crush. We had a good an open number here early in the month, and it looks like we're going to be close to at least the 202 million number, which is up sharply from last year. And that because the shifting scenarios of when we had our seasonal downtimes in that. But in general, we're still on track to get the USDA's higher U.S. crush for the coming year. And that the other big feature floating along in here is uh, how much of our U.S. Soybean oil will be blended into the biodiesel, and that still a little bit of uncertainty as to what number that's going to be. There was a trade agreement between the ethanol plants and excuse me, between the users in the U.S. and also the crushing facilities and that, and it was about 600 million pounds higher than what was floated around in there. It's right now, at least it looks like that's still going to be a positive here overall on that. So those are uh, things to keep in mind here. We do have one opportunity for some rains mid to late next week that could be significant, could be not. It's out there in the forecast at this point, and that so we'll keep an eye on that one going forward. But in general, the news from Washington and more positive things about trade development, and that will be the probably the positive thing that the market needs to going forward. Otherwise, we can probably could continue to bounce along here. We are at the low end of the ranges, primarily because we're down here on new crop loans. Our cash prices are just above new crop loans. Same thing on wheat as we get into that. We might even start to end up getting some wheat harvest numbers this coming week, which is delayed. We normally have those last week, but didn't happen. And as we say here, the right now at least it seems like it's uh, time to kind of hunker down and watch these prices kind of go sideways here at the best and see if we can get some more excitement out of the issues in South America. Maybe something, but I kind of feel like the key questions are going to come out of Washington as to more deals being done.
Yeah, we might see, we don't know, but we might see either Japan or Vietnam or India come to the table and probably announce those needed agricultural products agreements.
Totally agree. I think you picked out the three ones that people are kind of looking to see what happens with. If those get kind of settled out. And the biggest problem with Japan, they're going to still have this whole issue about steel. And he decided here on Friday after he was celebrating the fact that Nippon and the U.S. Steel were getting together, and then he also decided to put steel imports up 25% from the 25% he had further. So that slaps things in the face of Japan.
50%, 50%,
Total,
yes.
yeah, we're raising it from 25 to 50. We're not, some people are saying it's going to go up to 50, go 50% up from where it is. Well, it's already at 25. So anyway, that all being said, 50% is no good. Maybe that's going to provide some impetus, if you will, for Japan and others to get moving here. But we need some more conversation and more positive responses about tariffs and reductions in up here across the ag world. And those three are right at the top of the list here with Japan, South Korea, and India.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
You bet.